Hello, welcome to a new video. Today we'll make a video of how I will get funded using this specific system that I have been using for a while. Especially in funded accounts, which we can risk a lot more because, depending on the challenge that you're using, I personally trade with Apex. So the challenges are cheap. You can risk a good amount. But the system, to be honest, is kind of the same, just way more risky. We just risk a lot more. And yeah, as of now, we just got out of a trade right here. The moment price went below. We took some partials. The account was on drawdown, and we go back to the initial starting balance. And I'm risking the whole thing once again. So yeah, we entered same way that we enter always. We enter off of this little wick, if you can see, that comes up, comes down, and we enter when it came up above, and we're just waiting for price to invalidate, right? We got on 3 of them, so we're gonna set a stop loss at around here, sell stop of around here. Okay, that is basically the sell stop. And yeah, that's what we're doing. This is one of the trades, and we're actually on another trade right here, a longer trade on this account. Yeah, no, it's this one. It's this account. We're on a trade. We enter off of this area right here. The main entry was a 5-minute entry. It was actually off of this area. It was quite late, but it's okay. We were in drawdown. That's why we need a bigger win, but that's okay. We entered twice, one here and one here, to make it to get to profit quicker. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but that's what we did. And we're probably gonna get into the stop loss area right here. It is what it is. We may enter later if it comes above in this area. We're close to the daily stop once again, because this account was into the daily. I'm looking to enter right over here off of this area once again. So let's see if we get in or not. We actually got out accidentally here, trying to set up some orders for some reason. I think it was a mistake, but it is what it is. We will still be in this trade, but anyways, it's okay. We'll see if this plays out, and this will also play out if this one plays out. But yeah, it looks like it's moving around. It's not so bad. It looks like it still has the intent to come up, and as you can see, we're coming up very aggressively. I'm gonna go back to the other account because this one is close to getting funded. We're in 3,000. We need 4,000. A little bit more than that. Okay, that is the goal. It's around this area probably that will get funded, so we'll move it. If we hold it this trade, we will be close to be funded too, but unfortunately we got it was weird, but it is what it is. Let's see if we get there. I think we'll for sure get there. Let's wait and see. 52,000, we need 53, so let's see. I think it's even higher, but okay. Okay, we're gonna have this ready, because you know how funded are, they're like very when it gets close to the profit area, we we click, and then turns out we didn't get funded. You need a couple more dollars, so I'm gonna get out when I'm for sure in in the funded, like I don't know, like 100 or maybe 200. Also commissions, I think, can eat that up, so we have to make sure that we're actually funded and not just I think I'm funded. I'm funded by $1. And when you click, you're for sure not gonna get funded. So you really have to make sure that you are in that moment. Okay, we need 1,000 more. We have to wait. And actually, I'm gonna go back to the other account. I believe this one, and move the stop loss to break even. Okay, that's it. And this is how I got funded 5 times. I mean, sorry, 2 times, but this is gonna be I think the fourth one, and we're gonna possibly get a fifth one for sure. We have a lot of accounts. We bought 8, so yeah. Let's see. The break even is over here. Probably want to move it because if price comes down below, we're probably gonna come down. So I'll move them here to my original second entry, I believe, and we'll still get some profit. This account was on drawdown, remember? I think if it comes back here, we get back to break even in terms of equity. Okay? We just have to wait and see what's up. If the account was on break even, we would have got funded by now, probably. We only have to wait. Okay? And magic is, it's not magic. It's basically just trading the same system that I'm doing, just with a lot more risk. The good thing about my system is that I take very little losses. I also take very little wins. Actually, I have like a 30% win rate and about a 25% loss rate, which is very small to be honest. But I have a very high break-even rate, which is also good, because that allows me to take no losses almost. I mean, no losses, not no losses, but close to not much, So that's a good thing. And usually we move to break even really, really fast. So that's another good thing. Okay. Okay, we have 52,000. We need 1,000 more. Come on. And we're probably not gonna. I don't know why I'm using the alerts. If I have it right here, it's just psychological. Okay, we need 1,000 more. Let's see. Look, I'll explain the system at the end. And by the way, you can see that I have 2 other accounts that are on I have around 1.6K on each, 1.7. So we're currently going into drawdown. The max was 1.9, but that's normal. We're slowly but surely getting closer to that. I'm gonna come here and get this stick ready. And these are all opportunities you could have entered here. You'll be break even now. I personally, I cannot see the seconds chart, but you could be trading the seconds chart and entering these areas. I don't know. I don't use TradingView Premium anymore. I don't think it's necessary, especially with my indicators. So I don't really need it. Okay, we're a bit closer, $600 closer. We're also getting closer on this one. Not so much, but closer for sure. We only needed to come up here. It's just playing with us now. We just need to wait more, you know? It's just nerve wracking. Okay, we're getting closer. Getting closer. We really need to make sure we're above the funded pace. That is the most important thing. And we just need to push near these highs. I don't even think we need to go above this. We have the button ready because sometimes NQ lags and it just shoot up. I would like maybe to move this in this area, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna hold this. Maybe not. I'll move it down and then I'll see. This is normal, by the way. This is a normal 1 minute retracement. We have it ready. This may just go right now. If this works out, if this move works out, we're probably gonna shoot up, maybe. Yeah. Hopefully it does. We only need a little bit more of a push. 600 more, 500 more. We haven't come above this potential supply and demand area. That's the goal, and if it does, once again, we're gonna see a big move probably, just like we did on all of the other ones. All this is supply and demand. Here, this is supply and demand zone, even though it's to us, it's just basically a retracement into the EMA 5, you know, but it really is a supply and demand zone. This is also a supply and demand zone on a higher time frame. This is also a supply and demand zone on a higher time frame. Why? Because these all are aggressive moves. We're all trending. If you see a higher time frame, you'll see this is a supply and demand zone. You see? This is a supply and demand zone now. And if you go a higher time frame, you'll see this is also a supply and demand zone. Right here, you see that? So that is that's the whole strategy basically, right? We just look at it on a lower time frame level. Okay, it doesn't look like it wants to come up now. But we'll wait, we'll wait, we'll hold it to see if it wants to come above or not. Now let's cancel the order. I'm gonna hold this still here. We'll still have some profits from it. And we're already break even here, so that's fine. It looks like it's gonna break us even, maybe. We still have some time though, so we'll see. This is another entry right here on the lower time frame. So I'll look into the account that we were, trading, this one. I'll look to enter one contract right over here. And if we take the loss, it's so good. I like this entry a lot. Everything's good. Just checking. Okay. I'm going to enter right over here. And again, this can potentially also be a supply and demand zone on a higher time frame. All this was invalidated. So now what can be a supply and demand zone is this on a higher time frame, just like this one was. Okay. But we're not in this trade yet. It's probably gonna invalidate. It looks like it's gonna do that. And we'll go break even here. Have to have it ready. Let's see. The entry can also be here, but I'll rather just wait here. This is the trade, and this is the trade. But we're gonna just delete this whole thing, or not, because it looks better if we win. We're not in a trade yet, just remember that. We're still playing around here, and I'll move my N3 to this area, because I see a new fractal being created right over here. Move up, move down, and the break of it. So I'll move it even lower so it's more accurate, just like this. Wait for the entry, stop loss. I'm gonna move it right over here. I don't remember if it was all the way here or here, but I'll move it here. And maybe even here later. We'll just first let's get this entry triggered. Okay, we're in the trade. Perfect. And we move this over here. And if we get a stop loss, that's completely fine. We wait for the 1-to-1, which is around here. I think this is fair to move. I'll do that there. Okay. We're probably maybe gonna get. No. I thought something else, but no. Looks like it wants to go stop loss. Still very likely that it comes up, but seems close. Usually when these ones go, it's immediate, and it didn't, so. This is the average, so we really have to be careful here. Because if we come any lower, we can get liquidated for the day. Okay, I'm planning to re-enter right over here. Looks like a nice entry. Place my stop loss here. Perfect. Just wait and see if it gets triggered. This looks like a nice trade, 100%. We took a loss here, so if we take another loss in this area, we have to completely dismiss this area. It's really struggling to come up in this area, but we'll see. Hopefully it does go. Entry is the same into this area, and the break even is the same right over here. We're gonna break even maybe even before, who knows. But again, when this goes, this is almost like immediate, you know. And you know, this trade is, look, we're already gotten in, which is good. Looking to break even. Around this area. We're getting there. See if it happens. That's the goal. That is the whole strategy. Like, it just good management. That is what it's supposed to be. Okay. Okay, we're getting closer to that. We're still not there yet though. Okay, we're there basically. So I'm gonna move it now. Okay, perfect. We're broken even on this. We don't have anything to worry about anymore in this account. If it comes down, I mean, it is what it is. It looks like it's likely still not a huge advantage, but I'm managing because of I don't want to take another loss. in this area, so I'll protect early. But it's close. It's close anyways. It just a couple tick or two to actually breaking even. And it's valid, 100% valid because of this huge candle. And now we come back here and wait because this is the main account. Okay. We gotta have this ready. Okay, now we're broken even on the other account, completely fair, and we only have to come up above in this area. If it's gonna go above, this is if this is gonna get to profit, this is it, because this is a very nice context. This is amazing context. Constantly pulling back, pulling up. Okay, we just need a little bit more of a move, and we're funded. We need to get to 4.2 thousand, 4.1, but preferably above that. Okay, we're close. Even into this area, we're probably in that funded area. How is this one doing? What's the profit? Yeah, okay, it's not so much. We're very close to it. uh, Even closer. 400 more. Yeah, I mean, right now there's nothing to do. We have to believe. This is just perfect context, so it has to go. Of course, it's not guaranteed, but if there was a context, if there was a situation where we get funded, this is the kind of situations. But honestly, we'll just wait till it comes back here. Maybe, not sure, but maybe we'll do that. I don't know. Or we don't wait and we get funded, right? Okay, we're close. We got the alert triggered. Can move it here. I'm not even gonna use it anymore because we're there. We need a couple more, $200 more. This is a stupid simple system, by the way. It's just wait for a one-sided market, which we are on Nasdaq. Wait for pullbacks into the EMA 10. Okay, wait 1 sec. Okay, yeah, wait for pullbacks into the EMA 10 or 20, and make it this is basically a supply and demand zone, and we want the supply and demand zone to get validated. That's where we get the profits that you're seeing right now. What we're doing, we're just getting the profit when the supply and demand zone is validated. This is how supply and demand zones are formed. Why? Because we're supposed, and that's why we get so little losses, because when a supply and demand zone is going, it means we're probably gonna get a strong move. So even if it doesn't get fully validated, a lot of times it just gets partially validated, and then we come back to break even. So because again, this is how supply and demand zones are being created. Yeah, it looks like it's slowing down now. We're gonna probably break even here on NQ if it doesn't come up in this area, because we're potentially creating another supply and demand zone right over here. This was already validated. Um, so we're creating another one on a higher time frame, probably on a 5 minute, or not even. This is too quick, probably a 2 minute time frame. We're creating a supply and demand zone, and all of these are supply and demand zones. This is where price goes, and that's why we take them there, because they're aggressive, they're quick to break even, and they show up once the market is one-sided, and it's obvious that we're coming up. And if we don't, it's okay still. The system works. This looks very nice to get validated. We don't know if it's gonna happen, but this looks amazing for that. This is not necessarily a supply and demand system, but if you want to call it like that, that's fair. Okay, we're getting very close to that. Maybe we even got there, but this is impossible to just click, and we probably didn't got trigger anyways. We did a market order, like a limit order. Okay, rejection though, so who knows? It's lagging, means there's a lot of action happening here. Okay, this is done. We're officially funded on another account. And as you can see, it's a very simple system. We're still going on the other one. We still need a 700 around that. And we're gonna wait for that. Hopefully we can get there in this video. If we don't, I mean, it's okay. Getting very close to that. This will be the 5th one so far. This is another potential supply and demand zone being created. All these supply and demand zones were validated, and this is just another one that is potentially getting filled. Again, it's not a guarantee, but potentially. And I see it more difficult, to be honest. We're gonna set to get out here fully, because if it comes down from this area, we're probably gonna chop around for a bit. So that's one thing. So we'll wait. the supply and demand zone is still very much valid. We just move it to the downside for a little bit. And again, we have to prepare to break even, right? We have to prepare to take our profits, which is not ideal, but it's still okay. We still get some out of it because we took entries right here and right here. So it's still nice to take some profits, right? A little bit closer to getting funded. And we still have like 5 accounts more that are in the process of getting funded. So we'll get there eventually. Not all of them are gonna get funded because we risk a lot per trade, but I mean we'll get a chunk of them for sure. This looks still very much valid, but it'll surprise me a little bit if this gets validated because we're just going and going and going. But it's fine. I'm gonna come back in a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna cancel this and I'll be back. Okay, so we're still moving decently and we can actually enter once again. These supply and demand zones are valid, just this one needs to be moved to this area. And I don't know if it's gonna validate this actually decent entry. I don't know how this looks on the lower time frame, so I'm just not gonna take it. We're already quite close, so I'll just wait. I'll just wait and see if this gets validated. And if it doesn't, I mean, we take a nice break even and we move higher. Sorry, we move higher on the equity. This looks like a nice entry, to be honest, but I will not take the risk. Doesn't look as good as the other one, so I'll just hold this and wait. Oh, Bitcoin is doing something. This is an old alert from these profits. This was never taken. These are nice entries that I didn't take because I'm busy here. Maybe only this one is decent. Right here. It's not the best though, not the absolute best. We actually took a plus one also here, so when it moved down. So yeah. All these are probably break even, so it's fine. Just this one, maybe not. This was a nice entry. But a 1 minute, I wouldn't take 1 minute entries. Nasdaq, once again moving higher. Going to a 1 minute time frame. Yeah, this is nice entry, but oof, I'll rather not. We can just move here and get funded instead. Now this is looking like an even better entry, but yeah, we wait for something better. Right now we're just focusing on this, and that's it. We're not focusing on other accounts. This was very nice entry. Okay, we get ready to profit. We will have got funded right now if we took this trade, because we're very close right here. Okay, but if this is really a supply and demand zone, I don't know. I think I looked at another chart because we deleted them, the supply and demand zones. But if this is a real true supply and demand zone, this is going a bit higher than that, to around this area. Wow, this looks very nice. This really needs to go. This is a very nice trade. We're close. couple bucks away, 400, 500 bucks away. And if this comes any lower, I'll think I'll take a break, not a break even, but a small win. Like this area is decent for break even, but I'm still not gonna move this there. Maybe this area, I'll see what it does. Okay, getting closer. We need 300 bucks more. Just a little more. He doesn't want to do that. If we didn't take this loss right here, we will be funded. But it's okay. It's part of the system. No system is taking no losses. Okay, we're very close now. I will not take it yet because these commissions and all will not make me funded. So we need another move higher, like around this area. This is something we all need to be aware of, because if we're funded by $6, we're not really funded. Okay, are we funded? Okay, perfect. We're funded. 53K. 3K is the profit. And yeah, now let's just talk about the system. What is this system? Well, it's very simple. We wait for a one-sided market. Wow, look at this. Amazing. It doesn't need to look like this, by the way. I know people are like, okay, but this never happens. Yeah, it's true. You don't need to do that. You know, it doesn't need to look like this. It can look like this. It can look like this. It can look, you know, just look. All the EMAs are below price. EMA 10 and 20, price is coming back to the EMA 10 and 20 constantly. That is another one. And then we look from a higher time perspective into a lower, okay? First of all, I look at the daily. That is my go-to. I always look at the daily. It needs to be the daily, okay? Because the daily just basically rules. Even sometimes the weekly, if I'm going into a higher time frame trade, like a 15-minute time frame, but I don't do that for funded accounts, okay? So this is the daily. I look into the 4 hour. I want the exact same thing. We are going through momentum. All the EMAs are below price. Price pulling back constantly to the EMA 10 or 20, and you see this, okay? Now I go into the 1 hour. I want to see the same thing. All the EMAs are below. We look strong. We look determined. You also, another thing you can be looking at is supply and demand zones being validated. That is key. For example, we got one here, even though it's not as visible. We got one here, even though it's not the best, but we got one here, which is very nice. We also want to look at imbalance, and you see it here, you see it here, you see it here. And this is not just like some woo-woo shit. No, it just shows me strength, right? Very nice moves, moves down, followed by strong moves to the upside right here and right here. Those are the things that I want to look for, okay? Now I go into a 5-minute time frame, and I want to see the exact same thing. And I actually enter off of this area right over here at the top. I'm just buying above a high that is created within a range, in this case from here to here, okay? Usually I want to see that we pull back into this range below the EMA 50, which it does, and it does twice. So I enter over here, and yeah, then I see that price is pulling back into the EMA 5, which is still valid for me, even though it's aggressive. And all of these pullbacks here, pullbacks here, pullbacks here are very valid entries. Then I go into a lower time frame. I enter off of this area. It doesn't pull back to the EMA 50, but to me this was valid enough, especially because I'm just managing very aggressively. I'm breaking even very quickly. And by the way, this can also play out, but we don't need that anymore, okay? We enter off of this area. We accidentally closed a trade here. We would have got funded even earlier, but we didn't, because it was an accident. I don't even know if that was on my side, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, we enter over here, we enter over here, we enter over here. This is a lower time frame trade, by the way. We just can see that this is creating a move to the upside, a move to the downside, and the break of it inside a range on a lower time frame because of the candles. You know, we see move up, move down, we buy stop this area, okay? And as you can see, this is all leaving supply and demand zones right here, right here, right here on a lower time frame, okay? You can see it here. Supply and demand zone, supply and demand zone, supply and demand zone, all over the place. Okay. Also here, you see a supply and demand zone being created. And yeah, that's how we got funded. It was a 4.3 RR trade. This was a 7 RR trade. This was basically a break even, but if we just look at it, this was a 6.9 RR trade, and this was a 3.76 RR trade. So yeah, just take advantage of those good opportunities. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned something from this. The key is basically risk more and manage aggressively while being in a one-sided market. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Hello and welcome to a new video. We are close to getting funded a sixth time. We have 52,470 on this account. This was actually in drawdown, but we're moving it up. Why? Because we lost a big trade, about 1,000, which is one trade only, because we're risking a lot on the challenges. We recovered most of it right here. We would have got funded, but I just took profits here, so it's okay. So yeah, we're coming off of this area. This was the profit. We took a loss over here, but it's okay. And yeah, the next entry is this one. This is more of a basic trade. We're just following the trend normally. And yeah, it's a 1-to-1, big stop loss, big take profit. So yeah, we're just waiting for the market open. It's 3:20. So let's see what happens now. Okay, so we're a couple minutes before market open, and whether or not this trade works out, I mean, we'll lose $500. This is not a real type of strategy thing that I'll use. This is not the real entry that I usually use. It's just normal trend following trade, you know, and I think it's decent trade. Actually, this can be an entry, so I'm gonna get 10 more. Yeah, I'm buying more at market. Yeah, right here is the entry. Okay, and I will lose 8,000, but we're closer to getting funded. So I'm just gonna write this and see what it does. Okay, the entry is supposed to be here. Stop loss. I'm just gonna close it manually if I feel like. But yeah, this be $8,000 loss, which we will still be in profit. Okay, but I'm ready to close because we're close to getting funded. This is more of a legitimate entry. It's just the fact that I'm closing, you know, whenever I feel like. Okay, no close yet. I almost closed the trade. We cannot close right now. Okay, we're funded. And that's how you do it. Okay, so what I did is just basically the same thing over and over and over again. Okay, what happened is right here. Okay, first daily, just real quick, we're super bullish, pulling back into the 10 EMA. The 4 hour is super bullish, the 1 hour is super bullish, coming back into the 10 EMA. Now the 5-minute time frame, we enter off of this high, got a 6 RR, we closed right over here, and then we enter once again off of this high. This was more like a more less strategic trade, but once I see this high being made, I decided to enter with more capital, being my trade this one. Okay, so yeah, once we got funded, you know, we can hold this even more, but we got funded already, so there's no point. So yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and this is basically how I got funded 6 times. Thank you guys.